The divine words were first delivered to Prophet Muhammad, establishing a foundation for guidance and spiritual direction. This revelation recounts the mission of Prophet Noah, who was entrusted to warn his people about the dangers of disbelief. He urged his community to worship their Creator, to act righteously, and to follow his own example in conduct. Those who obeyed would find forgiveness and a delay in punishment, while Allah's decree remained absolute and unchangeable. Despite constant reminders day and night, Noah's people persistently ignored his warnings and rejected his outreach. They responded by covering themselves and blocking their ears, increasing their defiance and arrogance against his message. Determined, Noah continued his invitation, both openly before all and privately in secret, to reach every heart possible. He encouraged them to seek forgiveness, stressing that their Lord is exceedingly forgiving and compassionate to the repentant. Noah's plea promised abundant rain from the sky, renewal of wealth and children, and fertile gardens sustained by rivers. He questioned their neglect of reverence towards their Creator, highlighting their own origin and development through many stages. He reminded them of the structured layers of the seven heavens and the creation of the moon and sun. These celestial bodies serve as evidence of profound design, the moon as a light and the sun as a radiant lamp. Allah is portrayed as the one who enabled growth from the earth and will return all people to it. The faithful are reassured that life's journey is sustained by Earth's expanses, with paths made for exploration and movement. Despite the clarity of Noah's warnings, most people persisted in idol worship and followed those focused only on material gain. They devised elaborate plans to resist the truth and encouraged each other never to leave their traditional idols behind. Many were led astray by this obstinance, resulting in divine retribution through a flood and fire as consequences. Noah prayed for protection only for the faithful, fearing that remaining unbelievers would perpetuate misguidance and wickedness. The passage illustrates the importance of praying for mercy upon oneself, one's parents, and all believing men and women. The text again underscores Prophet Muhammad's role, as it preserves and recounts these episodes for future generations. In summary, the revelation stands as both a warning against disbelief and a guiding light toward forgiveness and righteousness.
The divine message reached humanity in a time shaped by complexity, offering clarity and direction to people seeking spiritual guidance. Prophet Muhammad received sacred verses, transmitting these teachings to a community craving moral and ethical reform. These scriptures presented pure, upright principles meant to foster unity and sincere devotion within society. The initial audience, including both people of the book and idolaters, witnessed a transformative era marked by this revelation. Through guidance in these texts, followers were encouraged to worship sincerely, focus on truth, and contribute through charity. Establishing practices like prayer and charity became pillars of devotion, reflecting the comprehensive spirituality embedded in the teachings. Some groups, despite previous revelations, only became divided after the emergence of this compelling guidance. Prophet Muhammad's role as messenger emphasized the importance of reciting and preserving this sacred wisdom for generations. Those who rejected the message, as described in the scripture, faced a future of spiritual loss and hardship. Conversely, believers who adopted righteous deeds were promised lasting dignity and honor in the hereafter. The rewards detailed include eternal gardens, flowing rivers, and complete satisfaction from both believers and their Creator. Surah Al-Bayyinah, as referenced, enhances understanding by presenting these themes in a form suited for thoughtful study. Ultimately, the revelation remains central to faith, guiding adherents towards spiritual fulfillment and alignment with righteous living.
In a medieval setting, a mysterious revelation reaches a community, capturing the attention of supernatural beings intrigued by its wisdom. These supernatural listeners are captivated by the teachings, recognizing a guide that promises ethical conduct and spiritual clarity. They resolve to embrace the message, vowing exclusive reverence for their singular Lord and shunning all forms of association. Expressing awe, the listeners affirm the grandeur of their unseen Lord, who possesses power unmatched in all realms. They recall past follies, admitting their own circles spoke false claims about the unseen in moments of ignorance. These beings once assumed that neither humans nor their kind would ever mislead others regarding the Supreme Being. It was common for people to seek safety by consulting with spirit beings, yet these interactions ultimately brought added burdens. Just like humans, these listeners also once doubted that destiny would be addressed by divine intervention. Once, their kind attempted to explore the heavens, only to face vigilant guardians and relentless fiery obstacles. Waiting in secret, they listened for hidden truths, but now any attempt brings swift and burning retribution. In uncertainty, they ponder whether the world below faces harm or is being led toward enlightenment by the divine. They acknowledge diversity among themselves, some striving for justice while others wander unpredictable paths. Escape from the reach of the Supreme Being seems impossible, even for those with otherworldly nature and abilities. Upon hearing the sacred guidance, belief solidifies among them, offering assurance against deprivation or burden. There are both obedient and unjust among these beings, but only the former discover genuine direction in life. Those persisting in injustice are warned of consequences, ultimately destined for a dire and consuming punishment. Should the community remain steadfast, abundant blessings such as plentiful water would grace their lives as a reward. These gifts serve as a test, for turning away from remembrance leads inevitably to escalating hardship and discipline. All sacred spaces are declared to belong to the Supreme Being alone, forbidding invocation of any other entity within. When a devoted servant begins public prayers, crowds gather so intensively that their presence almost becomes overwhelming. With clarity, the servant asserts exclusive devotion in his calls, refusing any partnership or association. Proclaiming humility, the messenger admits he holds no power to bring harm or guidance except through divine command. He acknowledges that protection cannot be found away from the Supreme Being, as all refuge depends on that authority. The only duty assigned to him is to faithfully proclaim the messages, clarifying that disobedience leads to eternal repercussions. Only when the promised events materialize will it become obvious who was truly lacking support or strength. Though he is unaware if these promises are close or far, the messenger submits to his Lord's chosen timing. Ultimately, knowledge of the unseen remains solely with the Supreme Being, who entrusts it to select messengers under watchful protection. Surah Al-Zalzala holds a vital place in Islamic teachings, serving as a transformative passage rooted in ancient spiritual revelation. This sacred chapter describes a moment when the earth will tremble with an intense quake, disrupting everything familiar to humankind. As the shaking unfolds, the earth spills out its concealed contents, signifying the profound exposure of all hidden truths. Witnessing this upheaval, humans are left amazed and questioning, unsure about the causes of such extraordinary events. The passage reveals that the